Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Sorry we had a small technical difficulty. My name is Jim Codney, National Sales Director here at Western Marketing. Today we are going to go over our final expense with Manhattan Life. And before we start, a couple housekeeping rules. First of all, the webinar is going to be recorded, so don't stress. You don't have to scribble stuff down. We will send you a copy of the webinar recording after the presentation. Also, we are here for you. So if you do need anything, have any questions, please just type those questions in the question box. We will do our best to answer all questions at the end of the presentation. And with that, we'll get going. Again, thank you for bearing with us while we had technical difficulties. It's my pleasure to introduce somebody who's not only a great carrier partner rep, but also a good friend, Kemp Cole, to introduce you to Manhattan Life's final expense. Kemp, take it away.
All right, Jim, thanks for having me here today, and proud to be a part of the Western Marketing family. You guys are an important part to who we are and what we do, and like you said, we're here to support you however we can. So Kemp Cole is my name, and I'm Regional Vice President of Sales for Manhattan Life. And Manhattan's been around for 174 years, so they've obviously done a few things right to be around that long. One of the things I'm proud about Manhattan is they're a privately held company and always have been. And being privately held, they can make decisions what's best for the client. And the client is the policyholder and the agent. And other companies that are stock held companies, they make decisions based on shareholder value, which don't always align with what's best for the policyholder and agent. So I think that's a strong point for Manhattan. And anyway, just glad to be here today. We're going to talk about the final expense plan today. Manhattan offers a large variety of products, but we're going to focus on this one. But just to mention some of the other products real quick is we've got the Medicare supplement. We've got our new Omniflex, which is a short-term care nursing home assisted living facility. It's really moving fast. It's a really good product for your clients. It's simplified underwriting. And then we have the final expense. You've got the home health care, accident, heart and cancer policies, and dental vision hearing is a large part of our portfolio. So with that, buckle your belt and we will dive into the final expense plan and run from there. So talking about the final expense plan, the benefits never go down. Whatever you buy in at, that's the benefit that you have. It's a permanent product. It's not just something for a term. You're buying it for permanent insurance. Premiums never go up. Once you buy in, your rates are always going to stay the same. Full face value day one of issue. It builds cash value. You have your maximum level of benefits of this permanent product. Ages 0 to 49, you can get $50,000. And yes, we do cover the younger people on this. Ages 50 to 80 covers up to $25,000. And then 81 to 85, they can purchase up to $15,000 worth of coverage. Also available is an accidental death benefit up to age 65, and that could be $5,000 or $10,000, whichever you choose. The way Manhattan prefers to have their products set up is they do ages 0 to 49 and ages 50 to 85. On their agent guides, that's the way it's set up. There's a little bit of underwriting difference between the two, and I'll cover that today. But the key is just pay attention to the age on there. Which age am I doing, and then for what state? You always want to make sure you're in a state that the product is approved in. In Idaho, ages 0 to 85, all are on the same benefit category. They don't have a under 50 or over 50. It's all 0 to 85. Let's start off with the 0 to 49, and we'll cover that first, and then we'll move on to the 50 to 85. And there's a lot of similarities, and so let's just get started. So here we go. We're talking about the Secure Advantage. It's a whole life in program for your healthier clients. So that's a key right there. The rates for our final expense are the best for your client. Nobody can beat our rates for your clients. But the key to that is it's got to be for somebody of average health or better to qualify for it. And in the agent guide, it specifically spells out what you can and can't underwrite. So the agent guide should be your best friend there. On the agent instructions, just talks about, the 0 to 49, you have a phone call that they'll make with your client, or you make with the client. It's a 3-way call. I would suggest doing it while you're in the house. Just call the number. The hours are very liberal. You see there it says Monday through Friday, 8:30 to midnight, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Aptical is the company that we use to do the phone call. They just review the application with the applicant and confirm the answers for them. So it's a good thing to do while you're there to make sure everything goes right. So here it talks about for most applications, they're issued within 24 hours. If you complete the application in full, I would highly suggest you do an e-application. You don't have to. They don't charge extra to do paper application. The thing about the e-application is it figures the rates for you. They can read your writing, and it won't let you go forward, turn it in until everything's completely filled out. So there's my plug for that. We go over to the next page. It talks about the height and weight chart. If the age is 0 to 49, the preferred rates are non-tobacco, and then the standard rates are tobacco rates. Just giving you a minute to soak that up. And again, this is all, I got everything that I have here comes out of the agent guide. So make that your friend. There's the fax cover page. Just shows you what you fill out if you're going to fax it in. In here, just want to note, has a proposed used insured in the last 2 years? If you check yes, you would use the standard rate. The preferred rate, again, is for non-smokers or non-tobacco users. As you're going through the health questions, I would encourage you to always look at the question. It's in the last 12 months, in the last 2 years. So if it's been 13 months ago, you can answer no to those questions. Again, 2 years and 1 day, you can answer no to those questions. So always pay attention to the time frame on there. Same thing on this page. This is the next page of the application. In the last 4 years, it talks about. Then it says on this one, is the insured ever been treated for any of these conditions? In the last 24 months, if under age 50, do they have any of these conditions? And those are going to be a knockout. Fill out, their signature, city date, everything's true and correct to the best of your knowledge. The application for under age 50 does not have a telephone interview code. I just put this box in here just to be a reminder for you. I would always record that on the application. I would find a place to put it for the comments or notes. That's where I would suggest to put it. This box doesn't actually exist, but you could put on there telephone interview code, and it's a 6-digit code. So just put that down there. That way they can match up the application with the phone call really easy. On the ages 50 to 85 application, this box is in there. It is included with it. So pretty simple process. Bank draft authorization form, and then you just fill this out. Tells them where to draft the premiums from, how much to draft, then they sign it saying everything's good. Authorization to disclose records, that's just saying you can check out my history. Again, if you do the EAP, all these forms pop up. So it makes it really easy. The best thing I like about the EAP is the signature on the EAP is the mother's maiden name. So you don't have to fill out all those signatures. All you do is put the mother's maiden name, and that is their signature. The client doesn't have to respond to anything. They don't have to click on anything. That is their signature. But if you're doing the paper app, then you would fill out all these signatures here, have a wet signature. Let's move on over to the ages 50 and up, 50 to 85. And again, it's similar to what we just went through, but there's a couple of nuances, and I'll cover those with you. Again, it talks about, this is for your healthier clients. The telephone interview is required. If you don't do the telephone interview, they won't proceed with the application. And it's a point of sale interview. So like I said, if you can, do it with your applicant while you're sitting with them or while you're on the phone with them. Do a 3-way call. And we talked about Aptical is the name of the company that takes the call. It's a simple process. They've got the 800 number. The times we went through, they're very liberal with that. So again, I would say do it while you're with them right then. You can get a Spanish speaker. You just request it if you need that. So in our marketplace today, I think that's pretty important. Moving on through the agent guide, talking about underwriting, height and weight chart, and then what is the maximum amount they can apply for. You've got a minimum face amount and you have a maximum face amount. And this is, again, this is all for permanent coverage. So on the minimums for 0 to 49, you see that's 3,000 for minimum, 50,000 for the max. Ages 50 to 80 is 5,000 minimum, 25,000 max. And 81 to 85 is 5,000 minimum, 15,000 max of permanent coverage. Talking about the height and weight chart. Here, the height and weight chart determines what's preferred and what's standard. Tobacco does not make a difference here. It's just height and weight is what makes the difference between preferred and standard. So the tobacco isn't a consideration for the rates for 50 to 85. So if they're over the weight limit, 1 pound, they won't issue the policy. But I think as you look at the maximum weight, that's pretty liberal. That's going to be a healthy person for sure. So it's kind of giving you a minute to soak that up. We also just covered, submitting the application. You can do it by fax. You can scan it and upload it to the Manhattan site. You can mail it in, standard USPS snail mail, or you can overnight it to the company. And those are the different ways we'll take an application. We've got the fax cover sheet. We'd already looked at that. The fraud notice, you need to make sure the client initials that. That's just a state requirement there. And then again, let's take a look, a little bit deeper look at the actual application. So just your basic information, your beneficiaries and the percentage. You can do a husband and wife on the same application. Take a look at the health questions. Applicant A, applicant B, height and weight. And then it says here, section D, if any questions answered yes, no coverage can be issued. So these are all knockout questions. But it doesn't beat around the bush. It tells you exactly what you can and can't do, which I like that a lot at the point of sale. It goes over to the next page on those knockout questions. As long as you can answer no to all those, it's probably going to be issued. Let me back up. I think I got a little quick there. On medications, they do a prescription check on these. So make sure you take time to try to properly record all of their medication. If they end up having several medications pop up that you didn't have listed on there, that's kind of a red flag. So be persistent with that information. Let's move on to the next page of the application. Pretty simple. What face amount are you putting? The accidental death. What's the premium? What mode are they going to pay? And again, a shameless plug on the eApp. If you do the eApp, it figures the rates for you. It makes your life a lot easier. Again, the proposed insured saying everything's true and correct. They've answered accurately. And here's where I told you on the 50 to 85 application, it does have a box for that 6-digit code for the telephone interview. Be sure and fill that out. Goes on to the next form that you turn in, just releases their medical information, just their name, the date that you're there, date of birth, and then on the next page, it's just fill out or they sign that. You have a rate guide available on the Manhattan website on the agent resource portal. If you have a Manhattan number, you've got access to it. It's a long sheet, where it's got the rates. So I didn't get a copy of that, but I put some examples here. 65-year-old female, $10,000 face amount, $37.25 a month. And the premiums never change. So once they buy in, it never changes. So the younger they can get in, the better off they are. Per the example here, 45-year-old male, $20,000 policies, $37.35. Female age 80. You got a male 35. It's just kind of showing you, giving you a flavor of what the rates are. They can use the cash value if they ever need to. They can borrow against it. They can borrow against it to pay premiums if they have to. Those are some of the advantages of having a whole life policy. We're currently in 20 states. These are all the states that we're in. So pretty heavy in the southeast, south central part of the United States. I'll give you a minute to soak that up. And with that, I'm at the end. Thank you very much. We've spent 20 minutes reviewing this. I think it was time well spent. If you have any questions, now would be the time to ask. Got my
Hey, Kim.
contact. Yeah, Jim.
Hey, thanks for that. Folks, a couple key things. Well, some of you are typing in questions that I want to highlight. For those of you where this product is available, their rates are typically number one, for that. So ultra competitive. This product's been out for many years. If it was relaunched today, it would probably honestly have higher rates. So
Right.
if you're looking for, if you work with very price conscious clients, this is a great opportunity for you. They work 0 to 85, so they've got a couple different options. As most of you that sell final expense know, many carriers don't do final expense all the way down to newborns, basically. Kemp, one question was, and I think I know the answer, but I want to let you answer. You said on the 0 to 49 app, there is not a space for the telephone interview code. You do require a telephone interview, right? They just need to include that in like the notes section, right?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is. I don't know why they don't have that box on there, but they need to write that code in there.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And then one of the great things about the app is you're still able to use mother's maiden name. For those of you who've been doing this for a while, you may know or you may not know, a lot of carriers have had to get away from mother's maiden name for e-sig because one of the administrators of some of the back office stuff, security-wise, decided not to accept that anymore. And I've been on those calls in previous positions. I will tell you that mother's maiden name is by far and away the most used and wanted to be used e-signature option. So we do have that available on this product. I can tell you ease of doing business with Manhattan is great. As Kemp said, they have other products. Health related products. So if you're somebody who does Medicare or some of the ancillary health products, there's some good products out there for you. Kemp, the other question, there's a couple questions on state availability. So I'm gonna kind of lump them together. Have you guys looked at expanding states, or are there any plans to be in more states with this specific product than the 20 you're in now?
It's a good question. Currently, the upper management is talking about refreshing this policy and putting it in more states, or they're talking about coming out with a brand new policy altogether. And so I think by 2025, I think that decision will have been made. Either we'll refresh this and then put it in more states, or we'll come out with a brand new product. So, but currently for this year, I think what you're seeing is what it's going to be.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thanks. So if any of you on the call are in other states and looking, in the gray states on the map that you're seeing now, and you're looking for a final expense, and unfortunately you can't offer Manhattan, just give us a call, and we've got obviously other carriers there. I will say rate-wise, as Kemp illustrated, a 65-year-old female for $10,000 is only $37.25 a month. At 45 male, 20,000 in coverage is $37.35. So just a great illustration of how strong their rates are. Now, I'm gonna give you guys one more minute to ask any other questions you may have. While we do that, if you do need anything from us, have other questions, want to get contracted with Manhattan Life for their final expense or any of their great suite of products, just call our office. Again, my name is Jim Codney. I'm our National Sales Director, but you can speak to any of our life and annuity marketers, Amanda, Tyler Marr, or Deb, our number to our office is 800-852-7152. Again, 800-852-7152. Now, Kemp, it looks like there are no more questions, so I really appreciate your time hopping on and joining us to present your Manhattan Life final expense. To everybody else on the call, thank you very much. Hope you make it a great day, and we'll talk to you soon, all right? Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Take care.